And how do you think that COVID will impact people with this sort of problem? And I obviously spoke about it before in terms of maybe right now there might be people who furloughs helping or mortgage holidays are helping, but when we start to move away from those, will there be more people that might have a problem with their finances?
Yeah, I think just now, I mean, it's dreadful what's going on and the impact it has on people's lives, their health, their relationships. And finance is absolutely hugely impacted. But when furlough ends, I really feel that is going to be a bit of a crisis point for a lot of people. Um, Taking mortgage holidays is fantastic, but then it is a holiday. So these all have to be paid back. Currently, credit card companies, banks, other lenders, all lenders are being gentle as they should be with clients, and they should continue to be. But at the end of the day, the loans will have to be repaid. Sometimes the interest isn't being frozen. So that might cause anxiety, fear, panic for people. So we are really gearing up for that. We've got a really solid process that we work with people, a plan of action that we can work with people to help them get back on track. So, that's what we'll be doing. We'll be supporting anybody that feels stuck, that maybe don't know what the first steps are. But yeah, no, I do feel when furlough ends, that's going to just be a telling time for a lot of people. It's quite worrying.
And you mentioned there in terms of what you can do to help, but clearly there's going to be a lot of people in areas that you don't cover that will need help as well. What can, for example, you mentioned with credit card companies, things like that being gentle, maybe continuing to be like that. What can companies like that do to try and mitigate this a little bit? What can maybe the government do to try and help some of these people who, as you say,
Yeah.
don't actually necessarily qualify for some of the help that they do offer at the moment?
Yeah. So I think it's about giving people as much information, and there are great sites out there. I mean, the government websites are very good. Even I would direct people to the HMRC website. They've got excellent information on what's available for people, but often the language that's used is quite difficult for people to understand. So it's just making more information accessible in a term that people can understand. Not everybody knows all the financial terms. And I think it is, the gentleness needs to keep going, and the understanding from the lenders, but there will need to be a point that people will have to know or understand a plan, a proper budget and plan, how they can do that. We're actually going to wait to launch. We're working on it just now. We're hoping to have it launched before the end of furlough. It's actually a self-help set of videos and educational tools that people will be able to use anonymously. We'll be here if they need us, but it will give them links on how they can actually do things for themselves, tools they can put in place. There will be, things they can fill in that will actually give them a practical. So we're going to put in place a practical solution for them. And I think stuff like that will really help, that people can access themselves on their terms, that they can understand and put their own situation into, their own numbers into it, which will give them a plan that's just unique to them that they can work on.